Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my UFC 108 predictions, Rashad Evans versus Thiago Silva. I'm going to do a little change up. I'm going to try to evolve this because I've been sort of running into the 10-minute limit and constraining me on what I want to say. And I got 3 notes that I want to talk on just Rashad Evans and Thiago Silva. So I'm just going to talk about that in this video. And what I'm going to try to start doing is if I have a particular fight that I want to say a lot about, I'm just going to have it in its own single video. And if there's a bunch of fights I have just a little bit to say, I'll combine those. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, Rashad Evans versus Thiago Silva. This is going to be an interesting fight because they both have only lost one time, and they've both lost to Machida. And Rashad Evans' knockout took a little bit longer. And I think basically that happened because Rashad's strategy was, more of a feminine. He's trying to evade where Thiago just comes straight at him, pressuring him, and got knocked out quicker. So I think this is going to be a very close fight. When I first looked at it, I was like, oh man, how do I call this fight even? They both are, could be champions, which Rashad was the champion there for a moment. And then I started really breaking it down, and I think this fight boils down to one thing, because they're both extremely tough guys. You know what I mean? I think if they never practiced mixed martial arts and just threw them in a pit and just let them fight, who knows who would win. But since there's more than just them stepping in the ring, we got to consider that. And I think this fight's going to boil down to one thing and one thing only, really, at the core. It's going to boil down to who has the better strategy. And I think Rashad is going to have the better strategy because he's with the Greg Jackson camp. And his strategy was better for fighting Machida. And Thiago's strategy might have worked, but it wasn't necessarily the best. So let me see what else I got to say. And so my question is, did Thiago learn from his loss to Machida? And I don't think he's fought since then, so I don't really know. I'm thinking he probably didn't. I think he's one of those aggressive come at you guys, and it's going to be real hard to get in his head to make him play a more softer fighting style. So I'm thinking Rashad's going to have the slight edge because he has a great strategy. That's what I think it all boils down to. Okay. Next thought process on Rashad. How could Rashad win? I think Rashad's most likely way to win would be by knockout. And the second way he could win by decision, but I don't see this fight going to decision because both these guys have been stopping people, and they're both, they're going to finish this fight, I believe. It's not like the Tito and Forrest Griffin fight, which I knew that's probably going to go to decision. Okay, Rashad is not likely to win by submission for 2 reasons. Rashad rarely submits guys, well, that's a big reason. Plus, Thiago is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so why would you want to take it to the ground and get caught up in that? Even though you are a strong wrestler, this guy's, he's a good guy on the ground, so you don't want to go there. So if Rashad is smart, if Rashad and him and his camp are smart, which I believe they are, which I know they are, they'll use Thiago's aggression to their advantage and capitalize on it. So here's what I see happening. Now let me discuss first something else. I think Rashad will use a similar strategy that he used on Chuck Liddell. Notice he didn't come straight at Chuck Liddell. He was more, running around, not really engaging and picking his spots. And it was also the strategy he tried on Machida, and it helped him survive another round that I don't believe he would have survived if he'd have just come straight at Machida. So basically their philosophy is going to be, which it has same as it's been in the last several fights, is avoid the heavy power of Thiago and then counter. I see Rashad hurting Thiago on the feet with counter strikes and then finishing with ground and pound. That's the way I see it going down. Okay. Let's deal with what Thiago could do. How could Thiago win this fight? Thiago's most likely way to win is by knockout. Because he's just the guy, he's aggressive, he comes at you, he hits you. However, it may not be so much with Rashad, but there's still a pretty good chance he can knock Rashad out. I think a close second is by submission. I don't think this is likely to go to decision. So I don't even really see that as. But let's say, what if it does go to decision? What's likely to happen? I think Thiago's going to have the more aggressive style. So I think if it does go to a decision, I think Thiago will win it because his aggression, where Rashad's going to be more evading, I think. So I think if it does go to decision, Thiago's going to win. Okay, I think the best game plan for Thiago would be to do the opposite of what Rashad is expecting, which is an aggressive brawling match. So Greg Jackson camps, they're expecting Thiago to come out and be aggressive like he's always been, come straight at you and just, you know, balls to the wall, all in kind of strategy. However, this is what Thiago should do, in my opinion. Instead, Thiago should start out like he's going to brawl and come straight at him, and then take Rashad to the ground. You know, when he acts like he's getting ready to go, and Rashad's getting to boom, take him to the ground, and then try to submit him. And again, Thiago is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so that should work out well for him. It doesn't matter even if he's able to take Rashad to the ground. It's irrelevant in a way. You still gain in both directions by trying to do it. If he is unable to take Rashad down, he is at least set up doubt in Rashad's mind, which would make Thiago strikes more effective. So that's going to keep Rashad guessing, is he striking or is he shooting? And that creates a little bit of doubt, and that makes his striking more effective, and that also makes his takedown more effective. So it's a really good strategy. Will Thiago do it? I doubt it. I just think the guy has balls to wall, straightforward aggression, and it's going to be hard for him to do it. But if he does do it, I think he will wind up. I think he'll wind up being successful if he does that. However, I think the guy may be too hard-headed as far as going forward to teaching the subtleties of backing up and like I was talking about in my other video, taking on the feminine style. Which when I say feminine, I don't mean gay or non-aggressive. I mean using soft domination instead of forceful domination. So things to consider in this fight. I don't think there's much to consider. I think both these guys are tough. I think both of these guys want to be champion. I think both of these guys can be champion. You know, that is, if Machida's not in the way. But I'm going to have to give the slight advantage to Rashad Evans at 55%, which obviously leaves 45% to Thiago. And as always, I will be having a post-fight video right after the fight. It'll be out there about 30 minutes, and it'll be UFC 108 post-fight commentary. And like I said at the beginning, I'm going to have more predictions with other guys in it, and so you can look forward to those if you like my videos. And if you wouldn't mind, please rating. And until the next video, later, folks.